The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Tonight, the longest-running campus powwow in the state continues its tradition.
We'll have that and more coming up. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Federal cuts are expected to impact USD's library. Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Jacob Pierce.
And I'm Xander Hull. We'll get to that story in a moment, but first, South Dakota Governor Larry Roden visited campus last week as a part of his Open for Opportunity tour. Part of the governor's discussion was about Senate Bill 100, which allows concealed carry on public school campuses.
You know, I think the Second Amendment is pretty clear in its language. And so we shouldn't take any kinds of restrictions on our constitutional rights lightly. And if we can restore them, which we did in constitutional carry, we should do that.
Roden pointed out that in order to carry on campus, you have to have an enhanced concealed carry permit. Roden says students are adults, and he thinks that it's reasonable that they should have the same rights as anyone else in the state.
USD is developing protocols for the potential detainment of students by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, or ICE. Dean of Students Kate Fitzgerald spoke at last night's SGA meeting to, in her words, clear up rumors about ICE's presence on campus.
Heads up that our last meeting is going to be April 29th. It's only 2 weeks away after tonight.
Up with a search warrant for any student, the policy is for UPD to be contacted and assist the agency if warranted.
First off, I want to tell you that ICE has not been to our campus, so that is factual information as of 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Fitzgerald has met with other student organizations that have similar concerns, and she's planning to meet with university leaders to send students an email that will include recommendations and resources. Fitzgerald urges students to contact her or University Police Chief Brian Jackson to fact-check any rumors they may hear.
Federal budget cuts have shut down the state library, possibly putting the interlibrary loan program in jeopardy. The South Dakota Library Association announced yesterday that the state library is now closed to the public. The state library also can't renew its courier program, which allowed libraries in the state to borrow books and documents from each other through the state. Without IMLS funding, individual South Dakota libraries, including USD's, will have to cover the cost of postage and rely on the post office for delivery books.
Students and community members can make a splash over at the newly opened natatorium. The grand opening of the aquatic facility was yesterday. The natatorium has an Olympic-sized swimming pool for lap swim and a recreational pool for water volleyball and basketball. Other amenities include a ninja cross, steam room, and hot tub. Later in Coyote Sports, we'll be live with the swim and dive head coach to talk about how the natatorium will be making a big splash for the team. Native American culture and traditions took over Vermilion this past weekend to celebrate the 51st annual Wachipi. Coyote News' Lydia Sweetman has more about the annual powwow.
Wachipi, hosted by the Teospe Student Council, immerses students into the vibrant traditions of Native American culture.
A Wachipi is the Lakota Nakota Dakota word for powwow. And what happens at a Wachipi is we dance, we sing songs, we gather together to be one. And so if you've ever experienced a Wachipi, you see that we're all dancing in a circle and you're just all united and spending time honoring one another and those who can't dance.
USD's Wachipi includes a Building Bridges conference to introduce Native American students to higher education, an alumni dinner, and 2 days of dancing, singing, drumming, and competitions.
This year's theme, and it pairs with the Native Alumni Dinner, was the School of Education. So we had 7 honorees who graduated from the School of Education, and so our theme is kind of surrounded by honoring those who came before us and paved the way for us to be able to have events like this on campus and just being able to represent our culture more fully and presently on campus.
The Wachibi originated from the Omaha Nation. USD hosted their first Wachibi in 1971 as a celebration of community and culture.
It's just nice to see all the families come together. Everyone sees their relatives, and it's just a good time for everyone. Good time to reconnect, and a good exposure to the young people that get to experience USD in this light and show them that they do belong here.
For Coyote News, I'm Lydia Sweetman.
USD's Wachipi is the longest-running student and campus powwow in South Dakota. Coming up, runners get covered in colors to give back to children. You're watching Coyote News.
In the United States, approximately 6.3 million animals enter shelters every year. Of those, only 3.2 million will be adopted, and over 920,000 will be euthanized. Help put a stop to animal homelessness, save a life, and rescue your next best friend.
This is Coyote News.
Easter is right around the corner, and Sanford Health is celebrating the holiday. Their annual Easter egg hunt started at 5 and is still happening right now. Start times for gathering eggs depend on children's ages. Children 1 to 2 years old started at 5, with 3 to 4-year-olds starting at 5:10 and 5 to 6-year-olds starting at 5:20. Unfortunately, there is no designated time for college students. The hunt takes place at the Sanford Health Vermilion Care Center.
With pencils in hand, surrounded by fellowship and food, graduate students had the chance to put their knowledge to the test. The Graduate and Professional Student Association hosted a trivia night on Thursday in the Varsity Pub basement. GPSA holds a trivia night each semester, which helps them raise money to host other events. President Nicole Schneider says this is a great way for graduate students to meet each other.
Mainly it's just to bring people together and to have a fun time, especially with graduate students. It's hard to know people from different departments because you kind of all stay in your same space, but our goal is to kind of bring people from different departments together in one place to kind of mingle and have fun for a night.
GPSA's next event is a graduate writing retreat dedicated to study for exams, write essays, or work on students' thesis or dissertation. More information about the association and future events can be found on USD Involved. Runners were doused in color at this year's Dakotathon 5K. Coyote News' Daniel Hinckley has the story.
Last Friday, students came together to run in support of the Children's Miracle Network in the Dakotathon Color Run. Morale Captain Evan Payer says that this is his first time participating in an event like this.
I've never done like a 5K, so it'll be a little bit shorter than I normally do, but it'll be fun. It should be pretty fun. I know the energy is going to be high, so I'm pretty excited for it.
The run was a 5K that started at Prentice Park, passed through campus, and went by the Plum Street Greek houses before ending back where it started in the park. Participants also got a variety of colors thrown on them as they ran past the Greek houses. The run originally was planned for a day in March, but had to be rescheduled due to poor weather. Payer says that despite that setback, they couldn't have picked a better day for a run.
It's a beautiful day. The first day it was supposed to rain and we have colors, so that would have been a little iffy. But I remember that day I went out and I was like, yeah, this would have been a horrible day. It was super windy and cold, and now it's beautiful. It's not too windy. It's perfect.
For Coyote News, I'm Daniel Hinckley.
Dakotathon's main event is scheduled on April 26th at the Sanford Coyote Sports Center.
Stress levels are rising as finals week approaches at the University of South Dakota. But some students are finding positively relaxing ways to cope. The Heartland Humane Society is on campus with an event that gives students a chance to unwind. One of the volunteers helping out is Ariana Edwards.
This event today is called Pet the Stress Away, and it's basically encouraging people to just kind of de-stress, pet some dogs, maybe help volunteer make some pet toys, and then also possibly sign up to volunteer at the Humane Society.
The Heartland Humane Society gives students the opportunity to step away from the books and meet some furry friends. For more information, visit the Heartland Humane Society to volunteer or to adopt a friend. Earth Day is next week, and the Environmental Club is hosting several events to celebrate Vermilion Earth Days. Coyote News' Kylie Moore is live in the muck with the club's president. Kylie?
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with Cabot Johnson. With Earth Day coming up next week, what sort of events can we expect to see around USD and Vermilion?
We'll have a ton of events next week. This year we're holding 20 events, some hosted by the Environmental Club and some by other organizations around Vermilion. We have Millennium Recycling coming on Monday to come and teach and give some education about how our recycling is processed and kind of the behind the scenes works there. On Friday we have an org fair and a clothing swap going on here in the muck. What else do we have? We have something. A campus-wide cleanup on Wednesday from out of Beacom around 3 p.m. Should be a lot of fun. We're expecting 70 to 80 members coming to help out. Should be a lot of fun.
And speaking of those events, how can volunteers and students get involved with these?
All of the information and all the events can be found at greeningvermilion.org. They are all listed there. All you have to do is search it up on the web.
And which of these events are you most looking forward to?
Probably the citywide cleanup. I've been putting a lot of work into it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the turnout and how everyone enjoys it.
Thanks for being here today. Live for Coyote News, I'm Kylie Moore.
Thanks, Kylie. As we just heard, the full schedule of events can be found on the greeningvermilion.org website. The USD Climbing Club took on the Wellness Center's rock wall. At the annual Coyote Classic, climbers showcased their abilities while competing for prizes. Vice President Soli Guttier says how these events are important to the club.
The purpose of this event is pretty much, number one, raising money for the Climb Club so that we have funding to go on, club trips out to the Black Hills, out to Horseshoe Canyon. And then the secondary purpose is bringing the community together.
Getting community members all together in the pit helps the group socialize and have fun with each other. The club meets monthly for excursions. Their next trip will be May 9th through 14th in the Black Hills.
Even students without green thumbs were able to build succulents yesterday. The campus activity boards hosted April Showers Bring Mayflowers, in which students made their own succulent plants from Lego-like bricks. Students were able to pick one of the kits from a variety of options, and they were able to take the plants home. CAB's next event will be Cabcella on May 2nd.
A new local business is providing a variety of formal attire to all. All Done Up is a new shop on Cherry Street where community members can borrow formal attire for events. The clothing and accessories are free to rent, but donations are accepted. All Done Up's ribbon cutting will be tomorrow from 4 to 6 at 10 East Cherry. Next on Coyote Sports, the football team hosts the first ever Coyote Football Family Day.
And softball shuts out Morningside in a doubleheader.
Could I get a triple jelly donut extreme?
They have just left the building.
Tune in weekly to Triple Jelly Donut Extreme to hear three friends host civil debates on the biggest video game topics. Listen in on 91.1 KAOR. Triple Jelly Donut Extreme, a show you won't want to miss.
Do you feel tired and anxious at times? Do you feel like you can't focus on your school assignments? Exercising might be your solution. It helps you feel less anxious and gloomy. You can relax better and you suffer less from stress. You will get more energy, sleep better, and find it less difficult to remember all your courses. So move your body and be your own change.
This is Coyote News.
Both a faculty and a school record were broken in a home track meet. This is Coyote Sports. I'm Sydney Colin.
And I'm Parker Orr. Volleyball takes on Augustana in more spring action in the SCSC. USD softball played a doubleheader against Morningside. South Dakota took game 1 6-0 after a 3-run second inning with an Abby Brown 2-run home run. Clara Edwards pitched the first 3 innings before Madison Evans came into the game to complete the shutout. In Game 2, the Coyotes would light up the scoreboard, scoring 4 runs in the 4th inning, and McKenna Young pitching 5 scoreless innings to secure the 8-0 victory. The Coyotes head down to Omaha for a 3-game series this weekend. A school and facility record fall in the South Dakota Challenge. Lydia Knapp broke a school record in the hammer throw while claiming the discus as well with 2 event victories. USD pole vault dominated Friday, claiming the top 5 spots in the women's, including Marlene Mula breaking the facility record with a height of 4.56 meters. On the men's side, the top 6 spots belong to the Coyotes. Joe Lynch, Avery Schmeichel, and Mula all took Peak Performers of the Week. The team splits between 3 meets this weekend in California.
USD football hosted their first ever Coyote Football Family Day. The day started with a 7-on-7 football game, followed by a skills competition between the offensive and defensive players. Competitions included kicking field goals, catching punts, and one-on-ones. Afterwards, there was a youth football clinic hosted by the players where kids were able to participate in various football drills. To end the day, players went up to the concourse and signed autographs for the kids. South Dakota football opens its season at Iowa State on August 30th. South Dakota tennis hosted Senior Day at the USD tennis courts. Denver won all 3 doubles matches to start the match. The Coyotes battled back with Amanda De Oliveira, Grace Chaddick, and Bea Havlikova all winning their singles matches. However, Denver won 3 singles matches, giving the Pioneers a 4-3 victory. This concludes the season for South Dakota's tennis team.
Coyote News' Nathan Delaney is live in the muck with swim and dive coach Jason Mahowold. Nathan.
Thanks, Parker. Jason, as the head swim and dive coach, what input did you get into the layout of this new pool?
Yeah, fortunately I was able to be on the project from day one 6 years ago and got to help design the competition pool, the rec pool, our diving area, and had a lot of input on kind of what we got in the final project and what we opened up yesterday. With a 8-lane 50-meter pool and 4 new diving boards, dryland area, we're really excited about where the facility's at.
How do you feel like this new pool will elevate your guys' ability to practice well?
Tremendously, right? Today we had our first practice where swimming and diving practice at the exact same time ever. It's never happened in school history where we were able to have a diving practice and a swimming practice all at the same time. We were able to go from 6 lanes in the old dome pool to 22 lanes for practice today. So we just a lot more space, a lot more possibilities for what we can do training-wise. And then again, just having the whole team together, I think, is a huge plus.
How do you feel like this new pool elevate the meet day experience?
Well, number one, we've got seating for almost 500 fans, right? We didn't have a tenth of that, I think, in the Dakota Dome. So being able to have fans in the pool area cheering, being able to just elevate that experience for our athletes, and then being able to run swimming and diving concurrently. We'll cut our meet time in half. Meets will now be about 2 hours rather than 4. So it's just a more spectator-friendly environment and I think a more lively environment for our student athletes too, to have fans right there cheering them on inside the pool.
What is the team's plan for summer practice for the fall season?
Yeah, we've got a big group staying here this summer that'll be training in the pool. We've got the ability to go some long course meter workouts, which is big for us. And then we'll be prepping starting in August for our competition season next year, which will start Dakota Days.
Thanks, Nathan. The USD Natatorium will be used for meets and practices next season. USD Volleyball hosted their last spring game of the season against Augustana. The Coyotes won the first and third sets, with the Vikings taking the second and fourth. South Dakota rebounded with the fifth set to secure the victory. The team will be taking some time off before preparing for a trip to Europe this summer.
The transfer portal continues to make waves in USD athletics. 7 new basketball players have recently decided to become Coyotes. 6 women and 1 man have made the jump to USD thus far through the portal. Notable transfers include Jenna Hopp, coming from in-state rival SDSU, and Josiah Doltzler, who's an Omaha native. Coyote News will continue coverage as more players enter and leave the portal. That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students about their childhood dream jobs. Stay with us.
The University of South Dakota's Department of Media and Journalism.
You're never gonna know.
Fostering students' talent and creativity through the art of filmmaking. Share your stories. Bring your ideas to life. Discover your passion. Find your voice. Join USD's Department of Media and Journalism today.
Every day, 37 people die. Every 79 seconds, someone is killed.
Love y'all. I'll see you later.
2 out of 3 people will be impacted. And this could all be prevented. Don't drink and drive.
This is Coyote News.
A Michigan town moved nearly 10,000 books one at a time to their new home. Residents of Chelsea, Michigan formed a human chain and helped a local bookshop move each of its 9,100 books one by one to a new storefront about a block away. Around 300 people formed a chain and stood in 2 lines running along a sidewalk in downtown Chelsea. The owner says the move took less than 2 hours to complete. Spring weather is just starting to take course.
We asked our Instagram followers what's their favorite part about spring.
You know, my favorite part about spring is that it's almost summer.
Jacob, I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I'm just ready for it to be over.
Right? What did the people say? The weather.
The what?
I guess they like the rain.
There you go.
Follow our Instagram page for more weekly polls.
Many of us had big dreams of what we wanted to be when we grew up.
We asked students what their dream job was as a kid and what their major is now.
Here's what they had to say.
My dream job as a kid was to be a meteorologist, and now I'm going to finance.
Honestly, I wanted to go into the military when I was a kid. I'm going for sports management now.
It's probably being an astronaut, but that wasn't really going to happen. But right now I'm going to school for finance.
I wanted to be a surgeon, and now I'm going to school for business administration.
I think my dream job as a kid was to be a vet, and I'm studying psychology now.
I wanted to be an astronaut, and now I'm here for criminal justice.
Wanted to own a gas station, and my major is accounting, so it's not over yet.
I wanted to be a scientist when I was a kid. I thought science was really cool, but now I'm going for entrepreneurship.
As a kid, my dream job was probably like a video game designer, and now I'm going to school for accounting.
My dream job as a kid was a Formula One racer. That sounded pretty cool back then. But right now I'm studying medical biology.
Probably a vending machine operator, and right now a PE teacher.
My dream job was to become a rapper, but right now I'm studying business analytics, so I'm going to be a data person.
My dream job was to be an actor, and now I do media and journalism, so not too far off.
I wanted to be a ballerina growing up, but I'm still a dance minor here even though I am media and journalism, so best of both worlds at that point.
That's right.
I used to want to build houses. I don't know, there's some about the construction life that was calling me, but
Bob
now...
the Builder, probably.
Exactly, that was it, but yep, now I'm here studying media and journalism.
I wanted to be a veterinarian for marine life, but I'm a sport marketing and media major, so...
Quite different.
Yeah, quite different.
That's all for Coyote News. If you think this looks like fun, auditions for the Fall Coyote News team are next Thursday afternoon here in the Al Newharth Media Center.
Details are on the campus calendar. Also, check out the Volant online for a look at the newspaper's Athlete of the Week.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and for coverage of your USD sports.
Don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates and the weekly poll. Have a great night.